Right, gonna have a look and see if I can get this this carb to stop leaking out the overflow pipe. Obviously the float needs adjusting. We're going to do that now. But what I did get was a new front brake reservoir, as for the one on the other bike the bolt has snapped off. But this one, it's obviously a used one. I got it from a breaker's, but it's actually in worse condition than the one that I've already got. So I'm going to fit it and see if it works. I suppose I'll switch the lever over, because this lever's worse than the lever I've got. Then the reason I wanted it was because this part here is broken on my one. So I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes. I've got a funny feeling this isn't going to work, but we'll put it on and see what happens. But first, let's get to adjusting the float on this. Now, with any luck, you'll be able to see we've got the float here, which as the fuel comes in, obviously this is the top, you know, this is facing up and this is facing down, obviously, when you've got the carburetor turned right around, that should be. So the fuel comes in and this float goes up like that with the fuel. Just here is a little valve. So that little piece of metal what I'm touching here now goes up and pushes on a valve which closes off the fuel, stops fuel coming in. Now you need to adjust this to about 26 millimeters, so that when it's in like that, it should be 26 millimeters from the gasket. You have to make sure the gasket's in, from the gasket to the bottom of the float like that. So it'll be 26 millimeters. So you need to measure that out, and then when you want to adjust it, all you got to do is use a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and bend this little piece of metal here that I'm touching, this little flat what comes out here. You need to bend that in whichever direction you need to bend it. Now, I've just adjusted that to where it should be near enough, but what you need to do is you need to get some either calipers or a rule like what I've got, but calipers would probably work out to be better. And you've got a little slit here, a little groove in the top of the carb. So you bring that out like that, you put that there, or you put the calipers there, whichever one you need. I'll turn that round. I don't know whether you're going to better see it. You might be able to. It'll be upside down though. So you do it like that, and then you push that, you push it in to where it be closed, and it should read about 26 millimeter. Doesn't matter if it's 27 or 28 or 25, as long as it's around that area. This one was actually set at about 20 mil. Which 20 mil, which it would explain why it was still chucking in the fuel and why it was coming out, because it would have to go up a bit more until it closed off the valve, but by that time it would be coming out the overflow anyway. So I've reset that. Let me just double check it. Yep, we're on, it's actually just over 26 mil, about 27, nearly 27 mil I've got mine set to. So let's put it all back together and see if we still get the problem. Once again, always remember to do your screws up in a cross pattern there, to make sure you bring it in and you seal that gasket in an even manner so that it comes down evenly. Don't do these two up and then them two, or them two and then them two, because you'll only end up with it coming down uneven, and then it probably won't seal, and the float might even get stuck on the inside or whatever because it's not even. It's always good practice, I say it in every video. Do that, man, because that's the real way to do things. So let's turn on the fuel and see if we get the same problem. Is it going to come out the pipe? Let's see if we've got anything in it. I think we have. I think we've got a bit of fuel in it. I can hear it. So, nothing coming out of the pipe yet though. We may have solved the problem, either that. If we haven't solved it, we may have made it worse and it might be stuck now. It might not be getting enough fuel. But we'll have to see. We'll try and give it a start up in a minute and see what happens. But that would have been one of the reasons why it weren't running properly in the first place, because it would have probably been getting too much fuel and it probably would have been running a little bit rich. So we'll give it a go in a minute. Well, I've got it running pretty good now. It's pretty sweet. All it needs is an exhaust on the back and we're pretty sweet. We're running pretty well. It's all cleaned up. It's a little bit wet because I chucked a bit of water over it because I had petrol everywhere and I've had it running. Now, I didn't record it running because I forgot to press record again. I had it set up on the tripod and everything, but hey ho, there we go. So, but it's all pretty good now. We ain't got any problems. All we need is an exhaust on the back. That will help with it, because really it does need that little bit of back pressure, I suppose, you know. Same as it won't run very well without the air filter thing, or with it just that, so it needs to be tuned a little bit. I think I've got the screws pretty much tuned where they need to be-ish. I need to go for a ride really and get it properly up to working temperature before I can ascertain that properly, but other than that, I hope now a lot of you know how to adjust your float to get that right. It's about 26mm. This is set to 26mm and it's fine. But I dare say, you know, a bit of trial and error and you'll get it here and there about right. I can't start it up again for you because it's getting a bit late and the old grumpy neighbours will start getting a bit moany. You don't want that, do we? So, sweet.